This is the Jason Walker Show. Two-time National Sports Media Association Montana Sportscaster of the Year and three-time loser, the Jason Walker Show. The best local and statewide sports coverage, featuring the biggest guests from Montana.
Flint Rasmussen joining us here on the Jason Walker Show.
He's freaking exhausting, too. You used to dance a lot more. Yeah, I know, lady. I'm 51 years old now.
The NAI Hall of Famer Mike Van Diest joining us here, Jason Walker Show. And is it just a deal where quarterbacks have to be good golfers?
Well, that's all they have time for. They don't work out. They don't lift weights. They don't do anything else. They might as well go get on the golf course and at least have some fun.
And from across the country,
Doug Gottlieb, our guest here on the Jason Walker Show.
End of the day, remember, it's your show. It's got your name on it.
Howie Mandel, our guest here.
Jason Walker, deal or no deal?
the Jason Walker Show, broadcasting from the Major Mortgage Man Cave. Here's Jason Walker.
Oh, happy Wednesday. The Jason Walker Show inside the Major Mortgage Man Cave. Hope you have had a nice Wednesday. We did 36 holes on the golf course today, 9 for league. And then we just said, you know what the heck, let's do 27 more. So we did. It was a lot of fun. And if you want to golf with me, become a member at Green Meadow Country Club. Not saying that it's going to be, totally super fun for you, because who knows? We'll see. Do you like this camera angle? I'm not sure if I like this camera angle. We might have to fix this one. This is very up close and personal. So we'll see. How about that? A little bit better. Big show coming up today. We're going to talk to Will Rasmussen, the PRCA rodeo announcer. He'll be working this weekend. Kind of. And we'll chat with Will about it. Might actually try to go with Will down to Joliet to hang out this weekend. That would be fun. We'll talk about that more in a little bit. Also on this day in history, we're moving That's What She Said to tomorrow. We're going to talk to a Golf Channel extraordinaire host. Chantel McCabe will join us. Golf is back tomorrow. No fans, but the PGA Colonial, but it is back. And we're moving Harrison Falk, our buddy, MSUB, Billings Mustangs, great dude. We're moving him to Friday. So there you go. We have a poll up on both Twitter and Facebook. You can vote at J Walker Sports on the Twitter, and you can vote on Facebook as well. Should the national anthem be banned at all sporting events? Because the anthem, the flag, it's caused a lot of controversy over the last few years. Should we ban the national anthem at sporting events? It's always played before sporting events. I want you to vote. We're going to keep this open until tomorrow. So you have 24 hours or so to vote on this poll on Facebook, also on Twitter at JWalkerSports. Should the national anthem be banned? Rob Parker from FS1, Fox Sports, said, quote, the NFL should eliminate the national anthem. Nobody, capitalized, in the country has to stand up for the national anthem before they work. The NFL could do a lot of things if they just decide to step aside from the anthem, end quote. Okay. Lots of thoughts on that. But I want to get your thoughts. We can talk more about this tomorrow. And you can weigh in. You can tweet me. You can Facebook me. You can text me. You can call. This is an important conversation. Should the national anthem be banned or eliminated, I guess, before sporting events? Not just the NFL, but all sporting events. I just want your opinions. I want your thoughts on this. Like I said, it's an important discussion to have. You can watch live on Facebook, by the way, YouTube, Twitter. Also live on Podbean, Network One Sports, JasonWalkerShow.com, and a whole lot more. But this is a very, very important topic. should the national anthem be eliminated before sporting events? We'll ask Will Rasmussen this. I know his answer. But it's very, Rob Parker brought it up, and it's very interesting from Fox Sports. And I want to know your thoughts. So vote on Facebook, Twitter. Give me your thoughts on if it should be eliminated. You think about Rocky, Carol, and the Frontier. They play the anthem before both the men and the women's games. And I'm going to bring this up, and it's a topic that, we got rid of the Pledge of Allegiance in school. I used to say it every day in school. It turned out all right. But the anthem is played before at Carroll College before the men's game and the women's game. In addition, there's the pregame prayer. Now, I get it, Carroll private Catholic institution. But I think that has to be brought up too. Because if you're going to get rid of the anthem, do we also get rid of prayer before games? Think about those questions, because we're getting rid of this cancel culture is getting rid of everything else. I mean, Looney Tunes went completely loony and got rid of Yosemite Sam's pistols and Elmer Fudd's shotgun. Or as the CNN called it, oversized rifle, hunting rifle. It's a shotgun. Sue just Facebooked and said, no, I think it's important to be reminded of our freedom. And while we're having growing pains, this is a great country and many have died for the freedom we take for granted. And again, the protests from Colin Kaepernick 4 years ago, the kneeling, all of that completely separate from what the flag means. And we heard Ife Kalajai talk about it last week. And very astute answer when he said, look, it's about protesting the norm, and that's what Kaepernick did. Now, I still don't support Colin Kaepernick. He's not in the NFL because, for a multitude of reasons. Most importantly, it's because he's really not that great of a football player. He's not a great quarterback. I'm sorry. But that's my opinion. You can have yours. And I want to hear your opinion. Should the national anthem be eliminated before sporting events? And should prayer as well? Jason Walker's show, inside the Major Mortgage Man Cave. As we continue here on a Wednesday, we'll talk to Will Rasmussen coming up, the famed PRCA rodeo announcer. NASCAR today came out, and 2 days after Bubba Wallace called for NASCAR to ban all Confederate flags at racetracks, NASCAR did that today, saying, quote, the presence of the Confederate flag at NASCAR events runs contrary to our commitment to providing a welcoming and inclusive environment for all fans, our competitors, and our industry. Bringing people together around a love for racing and the community that it creates is what makes our fans and sport special. The display of the Confederate flag will be prohibited from all NASCAR events and properties, end quote. Wallace is the NASCAR circuit's only black full-time driver. And he will be having his car paint scheme this week's Black Lives Matter. Wallace, who drives the number 43 Richard Petty car for Richard Petty Motorsports, recognizes his position will not sit well with some people, saying, quote, there's going to be a lot of angry people that carry those flags proudly, but it's time for change. Adding, we have to change that, and I encourage NASCAR, we will have those conversations to remove those flags, end quote. So, Wallace added that he wasn't always bothered by seeing Confederate flags. He's from Alabama. He says he's chasing checkered flags, and that was his narrative. But diving more into it and educating himself, he said that people are uncomfortable And that's the first thing they bring up is the Confederate flag. So no more Confederate flags at NASCAR events. Want your thoughts? Weigh in and let me know your thoughts. Should the national anthem be eliminated before all sporting events? Weigh in. This is as much your show as it is mine. And there's an interesting, it came out yesterday, that Gone with the Wind has been eliminated from streaming services. And Bobby Burak on Twitter said, in 2020, quote, if one person on this planet finds something offensive, that one thing is canceled. Those who wake up every morning bothered, offended, and angry can't deal with the thought that others might wake up happy, end quote. To which Tim Brando retweeted and said, quote, it's this. It further drives the conversation away from unifying. It's out of control. And Tim Brando asks this. We had Tim Brando on the show a few weeks ago. He says, quote, is every period motion picture now in question, end quote. And it's interesting. Well, I mean, we're getting rid of Gone with the Wind? Seriously? And today just happens to be the Hattie McDaniel's birthday. Hattie McDaniel was born in 1895. She was the first African-American actress to win an Oscar for playing in Gone with the Wind. And now it's gone from streaming services. And that's where we're at as a society, folks. We're just getting rid of everything that upsets somebody. Is this show next? I mean, I've upset people. Is this show next? And I think it's a legit question. If one person gets offended by the Jason Walker Show, are we gone? That's where we're at. And I don't think it's right. But weigh in. Facebook, tweet, text, call. And weigh in. Should the national anthem be eliminated before sporting events? What's your thoughts on the Confederate flag being banned from NASCAR events? Should we get rid of prayer before sporting events as well? If we're going to get rid of the national anthem? And I'm not saying we're going to, but you have to ask these questions. And Gone with the Wind. Gone. It's unbelievable. One dude that will never be eliminated from this show or being a friend. His name is Will Rasmussen, and he joins the Jason Walker Show when we return here to the Major Mortgage Man Cave. Have you thought about buying a home and just don't know where to begin? Well, when it comes to one of the most important purchases one can make, we understand it can be frustrating and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-465-1918, or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender. Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show. Father's Day is coming fast, and what more would that great dad in your life want than a full detail from Auto Concepts? Or maybe he would just prefer a lift kit. It's also camping season, and now is the perfect time to outfit that rig with a winch just in case. Auto Concepts is your home for everything for your vehicle, including updating your car stereo system too. Auto Concepts also has gift certificates for dad or yourself. Visit AutoConceptsHelena.com. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today. Do you love to look at photos of Montana, from animals to landscapes and more? Are you looking for a place to get your senior pictures or family portraits done? Are you a business owner looking to upgrade the decor in your offices? Well, look no further than Mark LaRoe Photography. Mark has been shooting beautiful photos all across the Treasure State, from rodeos to portraits, and would love to work with you. Visit marklaroephotography.com to see many masterpieces of his work, then give him a call to schedule your own photo shoot. Or to purchase one of his fantastic pieces, stop by Spirit of the Big Sky Gallery on Custer in Helena. marklaroephotography.com. Dinners Done Right is open and ready for you to stop in and stock up for the summer. How does a Big Sky flank steak sound? Or a sage roasted pork loin? June's menu also includes a Parmesan tilapia and a variety of fantastic chicken cuisines and more. And if that's not enough, Dinners Done Right's Grab and Go Soup, Salad, and Nacho Bar is back as well, with one exception. The delightful staff now will make it for you. And don't forget deliveries to Bozeman and Great Falls on select days. Stop in at 1212 Cedar Street in Helena or visit dinnersdoneright.com.
June is anniversary month at Rucker's Furniture, and you won't believe the savings you'll find on the largest selection of home furnishings in Helena. At Rucker's, you'll find sofas, sleepers, recliners, reclining sofas, leather, bedroom, dining room, occasional tables, entertainment consoles, Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in town, and more. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $299. Ask for details. For great values on new looks for your home, shop the anniversary sale at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Welcome back on a Wednesday. Jason Walker Show, Major Mortgage Man Cave. Got my Miss Rodeo Montana sash from Miss Rodeo Montana. Katie Lynn Krause hanging up on the mic stand. I like it where it's at. And Katie Lynn messaged me yesterday, said she likes where it's placed. So if you get a chance to watch on Facebook or JasonWalkerShow.com, you get to see the Miss Rodeo Montana sash. Decorating our microphone. That is awesome. We're going to have her come back in the studio. She was fantastic. Miss Rodeo Montanas generally are, though, and Miss Rodeo Queens and all sorts of stuff. I'm not sure how our first guest on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline feels about Rodeo Queens, but we bring in our good buddy, Will Rasmussen. Do you like Rodeo Queens?
I don't have a sash for you.
What can we hang up from Will here in the studio?
I'll get something for you to hang from your microphone. Yeah, geez, I got to think about that, but I'll get it to you. And I'd like to have a visit to the man cave to see what kind of a man cave you really have. You
can come in anytime.
I will do that. Next trip to.
You are most welcome anytime. You don't even have to come in and talk. You can just show up and just sit and listen.
No, I miss talking, so I need to talk. So
very true, very true. Will Rasmussen joining us here on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. Speaking of talking, you are one of the best in your profession. You got a chance to do a little bit of that a couple of weeks ago, and you're going to get a chance, I think, for the next 10 weeks down at Joliet. That was pretty fun with the Sankey crew, I bet.
Yeah, that was fun. You know, it made you forget about the stuff going on and get back to a little bit of what our world is all about. It was so fun. It was so fun, you know. Had a few bareback riders, had a few bronc riders, had a little bit of a hide race, had a dog race, just had fun and just not a whole lot of money at stake, if any, but it got us back. We wanted to see what the response was, and we wanted to see if we could do it and comply. So people drove their vehicles into the Sankey Ranch, and they had a gradual hillside on one side of the arena, and so they could park their pickup trucks and put their lawn chairs in the back and sit back and have some fun with us. So, and Wade Sankey, who was a guest on your show a week or 10 days ago, it just was a good attitude adjustment, if nothing. So it was pretty good, and we have one scheduled for this Saturday night at 6 and Sunday afternoon at 2. So
there's two of them this week.
Yeah, we're looking forward to doing that again.
Well, when I talked to Wade about it, he said, he's not taking credit for this idea. It's from way back in the old days. You see some photos of this, but it was cool to see the pictures from the Sankey Ranch a couple of weeks ago with all the cars parked around the arena, and it was almost like, remember Legend of Bagger Vance, the movie where they got dark and they had to finish under the car lights, but it was so cool to just see those photos. And it reminded you of old school rodeo. Take out all the crap that's going on across the world, and you just got back to being normal a little bit.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And people loved it. And then afterwards, we, for some of the sponsors, the VIPs, we had a campfire down by the creek, and a bunch of us played our guitars and sang our favorite songs, and in lawn chairs and a bonfire and guitars and all that. And it was a great weekend. So a great deterrent for us, and, a little taste of what we love and what we miss and what's been a part of our lives for so long that's been kind of taken away from us.
Yeah. Will Rasmussen joining us here, Jason Walker Show, Mike Miller, State Farm Hotline. All right. So I've never actually heard you sing. How good are you?
I'm pretty darn good.
All
yeah.
Right. All right.
Dang right. You bet. We'll have to Joliet this weekend, and we'll have a hoedown.
I actually think I'm going to come down Saturday. I'm seriously considering this because it just looked so much fun, and talking to Wade about it last week, it makes me want to just to watch some rodeo. And but it's not really a rodeo. That's the cool thing. And, like Wade explained, you would, you'd buck a horse, and then you'd talk to the guy for a few minutes, and then do this or do that, and then we'll buck another horse. It was just, there was no time limit. It was just about having a good time.
That's right. Getting to see a side of our business, showing the fans a side of our business that they don't normally get to see, because we're, at a rodeo, you're all about production and getting it done in 2 to 2.5 hours. So we got to visit with Sage Newman, who, the former national high school champ and a Montana Circuit finalist. Got to talk to Trenton Montero, who went to his first national finals rodeo last year, and got to see a stock draw where they picked their horse themselves by the order of their order was determined by how early they got there. So the earliest guy picked, stuff like that. You ask them why they picked this type of horse, and and then we ran some mares and colts, and Wade talked about their breeding program and the lineage of the colts, and some of the mamas were national finals bucking horses, or had moms that were NFR horses and things like that. So we don't normally get to do things like that at a rodeo. We, behind the scenes of a rodeo, get a chance to talk about those things. But so it was quite a treat, and it was fun and enlightening, and to see the pride that Wade Sankey has in his string, as all the stock contractors around the PRCA. They're proud of what they've done over generations and generations of their family and generations of horses. He took great pride in talking about those horses.
Well, when we had him on last week, and I asked him about that, when you think of great stock contractors, whether it's just in Montana or at the national finals or across this country for rodeos, the Sankey name is always one of the best. And he said, here's the deal. He doesn't think so because they're only second generation. When you look at like the Kesslers, they're under their fourth generation now. And some of these others are under their third, fourth generations. Wade's not taking the credit, but they deserve a lot of it.
They certainly do. His dad, Ike, was the spearhead of that. And, when you talk about the Sankeys, I think of, them who are friends of mine. I know like Butler and Son down in Oklahoma, who I'm familiar with, and they're on their fifth generation, been in business since 1929 and, things like that. So it is, which makes the situation we're in even sadder. That's all we know. That's all they want to do. That's why they think God put them here on this earth, is to provide that great rodeo livestock. So, and that livestock is fresh, and those horses did buck, and it was great to watch. But you're right. There are a lot of great contractors around, and I feel bad for all of them.
Well, you think of the Sankeys too, Will, is the MSU Spring Rodeo. I mean, and the CNFR for a long time in Bozeman, but that's that Spring Rodeo and the Sankeys, it's synonymous with each other.
Yeah, and they're, they put on the rodeo there in Bozeman, the Bozeman Stampede, that spring rodeo you're talking about, and the Montana State Fair and the fair in Billings, and they have their name attached to a lot of great rodeos. The Tour Rodeo in Sheridan, Wyoming, he takes livestock to Cheyenne, he takes livestock to Logandale, Nevada, Clovis, California, so that is, it's big business, and the business is a little bit of the standstill. We see a few breakthroughs out there in the rodeo world, but it's tough for these committees. I feel so badly, for the committees that all they want to do is put on a rodeo, and the obstacles are, around every corner there's an obstacle.
Yeah. So, Will Rasmussen, our guest here, Mike Miller, State Farm Hotline. I want to ask you about Big Fork. There's summer rodeo. They put out on Facebook a couple weeks ago, and I don't know if you saw it, but they were basically saying to everybody who's canceling because of fear, don't. And it was almost like they were calling out everybody else that had been canceled. But they're planning on going forward 4th of July weekend, and I hope they are able to pull it off. And unfortunately though, we lost some big ones since you and I have last talked, with Livingston, Red Lodge, Helena. It's getting. I don't know where we're headed, but it's nice to see Lincoln planning, and Shoto, which I thought had canceled, is now trying. It looks like they're going to try to have it again.
I can't speak to the NRA rodeos. Which is Shoto's an NRA sanctioned rodeo. Lincoln's an open rodeo. I don't know what their guidelines are, but Shoto, where I'm sitting right now, they're having a meeting Monday evening to determine whether they can go forward or not. They're meeting with the health inspector, so we'll see what happens in Shoto. Big Fork, yeah, I've been keeping up to date on that because I am so hoping that happens, because that's my only scheduled rodeo between now and Labor Day. So I'm really hoping that we can celebrate Independence Day in a open forum. So yeah, Big Fork, I can't wait. I've been in contact with the Whitford family, who I've known for forever, and when my big 4th of July rodeo is down in Colorado, Greeley, Colorado, which is a 2-week celebration. When they canceled, the Whitfords called me to see if I could be a part of Big Fork, and I'm happy to go over there. I don't know if people were calling out it's Big Fork. I wouldn't say they're calling out other committees. I'm saying that maybe they're calling out, hey, these are just strong suggestions. They're telling us, let's have a rodeo. Let's have a gathering. So well, no, I'm not going to get political, but
no, I know where you're going with this because I was going to bring it up. I was going to ask you about it. I've seen this from other people as well. Let's have a rodeo. We just don't call it a rodeo. We just call it a protest because then we're okay to have people all over the place and we don't have to social distance. We can have food and drink and have some fun.
Yeah, I guess that's where I was going. Yeah.
I'll say it. You don't have to worry about it. I'll go ahead and say it. I said it yesterday too.
But my biggest thing is, I hope that we can celebrate our independence the way it should be celebrated, and go forward. My goodness, right around the corner. We talk about rodeo, and we've talked about you and I on this show a couple weeks ago about the economic impact of not having county fairs. Geez, the impact of not having Helena's Last Chance Stampede the last weekend in July, that's huge. But there's, like I said, and I get, just to be clear, I get all the time, I can't believe these committees are canceling. Well, the reason is if you can only sell 30 to 40% of your tickets by order of the health inspector, then sponsors aren't doing that well. They've had a tough 3 or 4 months here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have to have it. They'll lose some money. They'll lose some money maybe, and they're willing to do that just to serve a community purpose, but they can't lose hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Right.
The road down in Wyoming that I do after the 4th of July, Sheridan, Wyoming, they canceled the same day Cheyenne did, and Casper and Riverton and all that. But they said, we've already lost $100,000. We can afford to do that. And have a rodeo next year. We can't afford to lose $500,000.
Right.
So and it takes more people, more volunteers, because the health inspectors are requiring that you sanitize bathrooms, you sanitize handrails, you sanitize everything between performances, and it just gets to the point where committees say, well, we can lose less. We lose less money by not having it.
Yeah.
And then there was a controversy or not a controversy, but the fact of the matter is people want parades. Well, there's rules for parades where they're going down side streets, and it's a tough thing, and I have my own opinion on it, but it's really too bad that this happened, and who'd have ever thought it? Who would have ever thought? And so just around the corner is high school volleyball and football and fall sports, and what's going to happen there. So there's more questions than answers right now.
Yep, there definitely is. Will Rasmussen joining us here, Jason Walker Show. There was some positive that came out this week, and it was kind of a weirdness because the Cody Stampede had been canceled the same day that the Big 5 or Big 6 in Wyoming, but they were going to go ahead with the Cody Night Rodeo, which is 7 days a week for all summer long. But then they're pushing back the Night Rodeo, and Cody's going to go ahead with his Stampede, which is great news.
Yeah, that is. I was surprised to see that, pleasantly surprised. I'm tickled to death for that. That is one of the biggest, as far as added money purse goes for the Cowboys, one of the biggest rodeos in the country over the 4th of July, and I'm tickled to death that they're going forward with that. Good luck to them, and kudos. And right now, as we speak, there's a rodeo going on down in Woodward, Oklahoma. And the Butler family's down there, I know, putting that on. But I believe it's the first rodeo that has fans. Don't quote me on that, but I believe they're going forward. Oklahoma has opened up, and they're having fans, and they're having a big rodeo. They have over 800 contestants entered there with amazing, the Cowboys. The Cowboys are chomping at the bit, no pun intended, but they want to get at it too. So, and they'll drive a long way to go to a rodeo.
Hey, speaking of Oklahoma, how lucky are we as a nation to have Lazy E Arena in Guthrie there, because they did the PBR for a couple of weeks, and as you know, with your brother Flint, but the National High School Rodeo Finals moving from Nebraska to the Lazy E Arena. And I think that's wonderful, and a big thanks to everybody involved with the Lazy E, because they've been able to do stuff that nobody else has.
It's a control. Having been down there, I announced the Ram National Circuit Finals in that facility one year. Having been there, you can control the environment. There's only a couple ways in there and a couple ways back. So one of the guidelines that you have to adhere to is everybody gets their temperature taken when you drive in. Well, they can control that, and things like that. It's a controlled environment. It's a big facility, a lot of places to park, and all that. So yeah, I'm with you. Good job. Anything we can do to get the ball rolling and keep it rolling is a big deal.
Will Rasmussen joining us here, Jason Walker Show. All right, so you skirted around the first question I asked you. Are you a fan of rodeo queens?
Absolutely. They're great ambassadors to our sport. They're great ambassadors to the sport. They take great pride in representing, the Western way of life, and put rodeo in the forefront of what they do for over a year. And they are folks that, you've had Miss Rodeo Montanas on your shows. They're they're well educated, and they love rodeos and the way of life that we've come to love as well here in the West. So absolutely great ambassadors to what we do, and we're lucky to have them.
All right, what's your favorite song to sing?
Oh boy, how about I'm a country music guy. There's a couple of them. I like Living on Love by Alan Jackson. Paul Overstreet's a blaster. Most people heard Paul Overstreet. Yeah. I like Good Boys Like Me by Don Williams. I like to write music, so I like to sing some of my songs. So, yeah, there you go. My heroes have always been cowboys.
Good one.
One of my. So, yeah,
well,
that's me.
And what's great, Will, is you said all these older stuff, which is fantastic, because I don't like new music. New country music is not fun. But again, it's my opinion.
I love Alan Jackson, George Strait, Paul Overstreet, Don Williams, you bet.
Well, Don Williams was my favorite. I used to sit in the swather with my dad in the hayfields listening to old cassette tapes of Don Williams.
So I'm old. You're not.
Oh, please. You're like 10 years older than me is all. That's it.
Oh, is that a fact? I don't have any idea how old you are. So
I'll be 45 in August.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Right in there.
See? So
right in.
You're like 9 years older. You're like the older brother,
I am the older brother.
Well, that is true.
Yeah. Mistreated. Yeah. I'm paving the way.
Yeah. I love it. All right. So you mentioned some favorite songs, but all-time favorite artist?
Oh boy. Yeah, I'll tell you, I love Paul Overstreet for a lot of reasons.
So good. I like that. And people forget how good he was.
Yeah, he was so good as a songwriter. He wrote a Long Line of Love that Michael Martin Murphey recorded.
Yep.
Forever, Never, Amen that Randy Travis recorded. He had a bushel of his own songs that, Seeing My Father in Me and things like that. It's just, and I had the opportunity a couple of years ago. We were doing a sponsor deal at a big rodeo in Central Point, Oregon, and he was the guest singer at the sponsor dinner. So we all had dinner. I got to introduce him, and I got to sing with him.
Oh.
And, oh, my gosh. Yeah, I didn't get laughed at. But,
well, that's good. Hey,
yeah,
Go ahead.
It was great. It was great.
So I got to sing at the State Fair with Phil Vassar back in 2000. 2002, I think it would have been 2003. 2003. And
Speaking of songwriters, my goodness.
Yep. Came out for the encore. We did Taking Care of Business and Working for the Weekend. Little BTO and Loverboy.
Oh my gosh, that's you're dating a. You're dating
a little bit, a little. Hey, the '80s were good too. You know,
what's the matter with the '80s? I mean, clothes that fit and mullets. What's the matter with the '80s?
Nothing's wrong with the '80s. It's the best decade of music and everything. I mean, that's when I was in my prime. I may have kept the hair an extra, dozen years or so, but
I'm trying to bring the mullet back single-handedly.
You should.
Right?
I'm all for that.
Right? I am. Well, I've let my hair grow till the virus goes away, but the virus might win. So,
that's true. Let me ask you this. I asked Wade Sankey this. All-time favorite horse to see buck?
Cindy Lou. The Sankey Zone?
No, just in general.
Oh, I have a couple of them. A lot of the Sankey horses, because I grew up with the Sankeys. They used to have a horse named Cindy Lou Who, and she went to the NFR a couple of times. I loved, Schizo that won the world title, Jamboree, William, Surprise Party. There's a horse that the Butlers owned named Killer Bee that they were 93 points on a couple of years ago in Tucson, 91 this last year. Just that is a tough, but I appreciate all of the athletes. They're just athletic and it's tremendous to watch. Tremendous to watch those athletes.
I said Secretariat was the all-time greatest athlete.
I saw your post. Yeah, isn't that something?
Man.
Secretariat. I never thought of Secretariat, but I watched your video that you posted, and he win it by 32 lengths at the Belmont.
31. Yeah, it was nuts. Speaking of bucking horses, and let's on Saddle Bronc, which is the best family, Etbauers or Wrights?
Oh my gosh.
I'm putting tough ones at you here, Will.
What's that?
I'm giving you tough ones now.
Yeah, that's okay. Well, you have to, the next generation of the Etbauers are out there riding, and but the successes, I guess if you add up world titles, we'd have to add Billy won 6, I think, and Robert won 2. Cody Wright has won 2. Jesse Wright has won 1. Spencer Wright has won 1. Ryder Wright has won 1. So I guess the Etbauers are ahead if you're going by world titles.
True. And Billy's got which horse was that a Kessler horse that he owns the arena record on?
Oh boy, now you got me. I
can't remember. I thought, or maybe it was I think it's a Kessler horse.
Yeah,
because he did it twice, the same horse, back-to-back years.
Amazing. He's amazing. We see him every year. Get to shake his hand every year at the National Rodeo, and always such a humble, great champion.
He doesn't look like he's aged.
No, and he's just a little guy. Yeah. He's a little guy. So, yeah, that is a great question. Of course, the Wrights right now, I'm friends with all of them. What a tremendous family! Wow, what a tremendous family. Yeah.
Well, and Rusty has a couple of kids now too, and
Stetson won a world title, I guess, last year. I forgot about him. He won the all-around.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
He's the one that doesn't ride horses. Well, he does, but
yeah, good. Don Williams, he's my favorite artist.
Oh, okay. I like that. All right, so I got to ask you this. It's my poll question today, and I know what your answer is going to be because nobody does the grand entry better than you with the national anthem. I mean, Wayne Brooks is close, but I prefer Will, and I know you guys are close friends. But if we got rid of the anthem before sporting events, yes or no?
Yeah, that is such a tough. Well, my answer's no.
Right.
You know, my answer's no. I was afraid that you'd ask me that because there's, depends on who you ask. You're going to upset some of the people no matter how you ask. My answer is no for a couple of reasons. Two, I was thinking about this. It should be done for one. I got to thinking about, so we don't play the national anthem at sporting events. So what if Michael Phelps goes to the Olympics and wins another gold medal? Are they just going to walk off the medal stand and not play the anthem and be the only country in the world to not do that? Where does that stop?
Sure.
And I had a conversation one time with a very nice man named Mike Huckabee, who was a Republican candidate for president a couple years ago, and former governor of Arkansas, and he's on Fox News a lot. And he always goes to the National Finals Rodeo, and we've become acquaintances. And he said to me one time, I love the sport of rodeo. We all respect the flag. We pray without apology, and we play the anthem. So those are my two reasons, and it should be done. And we live in the greatest country in the world, no matter what people are saying right now. And, let's go try somewhere else, see how much better it is.
Yep.
So
great answer.
That's how I feel about the anthem. Absolutely.
And I knew that was going to be your answer because I love listening to you. There's just something about the announcers at rodeos when they bring in the flag. And it's an emotional deal. It really is.
I'll be honest with you, that's one of my favorite parts of being an announcer is getting an opportunity to do things like that.
Yep.
So
it's the quietest you'll ever have at a rodeo.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my answer.
All right. Don Williams, final question here. If you could pick okay, we talked about favorite horses, but who's your all-time favorite person to watch rodeo? Any event.
Yeah. One of them, I used to love to watch Dan Mortensen. I like the right. Casey Field is one of the greatest bareback riders we've ever seen. He is a tremendous rider. He and Bobby Moat in their prime were tremendous. And there's a young guy by the name of Clayton Bigelow, the reigning world champion back rider. I love watching Casey Field because I know what kind of a guy he is. And speaking of the flag, one year he was injured, and his rehab time was spent over in the Middle East on behalf of Wrangler and the Wrangler Patriot program, visiting our troops. So that's the kind of guy he is, and he comes from great stock, and so he's one of my favorites for sure. All
right, I said last question, but this is for sure the last question. Favorite barrel horse?
Oh, oh boy. I like Stingray that Sherry Cervi used to ride. Remember Christy Peterson from Colorado won 3 or 4 world titles in a row on a named Bozo. She bought for about $600. Bozo was tremendous. And, Mary Walker, I know you asked for one, but Mary Walker's is a tremendous horse, and the story behind the two of them and the kind of lady Mary Walker is. I don't know. I am.
Well, you forgot Louis. I mean.
No, because I'm a big fan of Lisa Lockhart. Yeah, big fan of Lisa Lockhart. I was emceeing the national program there, banquet for the WPRA the year that Louis was voted the outstanding horse, and to watch her emotion, her meaning Lisa, and her husband Grady, because they like stock contractors put their heart and soul into those horses. So, you know, you're a fan. I'm a fan. I miss cheering. I miss rooting. I miss talking about it. And so I appreciate you giving me a few minutes to talk about rodeo for a while.
Anytime, Will. I'm going to give you my favorite barrel horse of all time, Lindsey Sears and Martha.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
What a run they had for in the, about a decade ago.
2008, I think she won a world title, something like that.
Yep. Love Lindsey Sears.
Isn't that something?
Man.
Isn't that something? It is great to remember and reminisce. And we're missing an opportunity in this beautiful summer here in the Big Sky Country to be making more history, but maybe we'll be making history before we know it. Let's hope so.
All right, so people need to go to SankeyProRodeo.com, click on the shop, and buy your tickets for the big drive-in rodeo this weekend down in Joliet at the Sankey Family Ranch. If I come, I'd like to eventually, because I want to try my hand at rodeo announcing just once in my life. It's one thing I've always wanted to do.
Sure.
I've never gotten to do it.
Well, you will find that we are vastly overpaid.
Well, right now you're vastly underpaid, and we need to change that.
Yeah, no.
Yes.
Come on up. Betcha.
I think I'm gonna come down to Joliet this weekend because I got to stain my fence next week, and I'm trying to postpone it as long as I can. So.
Yeah, I would do that. Yeah, we'll co-host a couple of bucking horses.
I like that. I like that. Will Rasmussen, safe travels to Joliet, and you're welcome on this show anytime, my friend.
Perfect. Thanks for what you do, Jason. We'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good. That is Will Rasmussen joining us on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. SankeyProRodeo.com. Big drive-in rodeo this weekend at the Sankey Family Ranch near Joliet. So if you get on down, but make sure you go to SankeyProRodeo.com, buy your tickets, and it'll be a lot of fun. And we'll see you down there for sure. This last segment brought to you by our friends at Ruckers Furniture. Make the quality choice for your home at Ruckers Furniture. 1010 Dearborn. Helena coming right back. We'll wrap things up. And got a great promotion with a great new sponsor. We'll talk about it next.
June is anniversary month at Ruckers Furniture, and you won't believe the savings you'll find on the largest selection of home furnishings in Helena. At Ruckers, you'll find sofas, sleepers, recliners, reclining sofas, leather, bedroom, dining room, occasional tables, entertainment consoles, Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in town, and more. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $299. Ask for details. For great values on new looks for your home, shop the anniversary sale at Ruckers Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show. Have you thought about buying a home and just don't know where to begin? Well, when it comes to one of the most important purchases one can make, we understand it can be frustrating and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-465-1918. Or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender. Father's Day is coming fast, and what more would that great dad in your life want than a full detail from Auto Concepts? Or maybe he would just prefer a lift kit. It's also camping season, and now is the perfect time to outfit that rig with a winch just in case. Auto Concepts is your home for everything for your vehicle, including updating your car stereo system too. Auto Concepts also has gift certificates for dad or yourself. Visit AutoConceptsHelena.com. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today. Do you love to look at photos of Montana, from animals to landscapes and more? Are you looking for a place to get your senior pictures or family portraits done? Are you a business owner looking to upgrade the decor in your offices? Well, look no further than Mark LaRoe Photography. Mark has been shooting beautiful photos all across the Treasure State, from rodeos to portraits, and would love to work with you. Visit marklaroephotography.com to see many masterpieces of his work, then give him a call to schedule your own photo shoot. Or to purchase one of his fantastic pieces, stop by Spirit of the Big Sky Gallery on Custer in Helena. marklaroephotography.com.
This segment brought to you by Mark LaRoe Photography. And this was cool. If you book any portrait package with Mark, you get a free 8x10 canvas or a matted print. But you got to mention you heard it here on the Jason Walker Show. And you also can get 20% off any artwork purchase from Spirit of the Big Sky Studio and Gallery by mentioning the Jason Walker Show. How cool is that? Thanks to Mark LaRoe Photography for jumping on board, believing in the Jason Walker Show. Visit marklaroephotography.com. A lot of fun talking to Will Rasmussen earlier. And if you get a chance to get down to Joliet this weekend, I highly recommend it. And I do think I'm going to go. I think I'm going to get down there Saturday for sure. But it should be a good time. SankeyProRodeo.com. SankeyProRodeo.com. Order your tickets there. Tomorrow, great show coming up. Also Friday, we'll tell you who's on the way in a little bit. So today's poll question, and it's up until tomorrow, because I want to really have this discussion. And it goes back to what Rob Parker from Fox Sports 1 said yesterday. The quote, the NFL should eliminate the national anthem. Nobody in the country has to stand up for the national anthem before they work. The NFL could do a lot of things if they just decide to step aside from the anthem, end quote. He says nobody, but as you just heard, we're talking to Will Rasmussen. Rodeo people do, and they don't complain about it. Here's the thing. I'm opinionated. I have an opinion. I can have my own opinion. You can have your own opinion as well. And that's the great thing, is we can all have our own opinions. But here's the big deal. Like I said, you're entitled to your opinion, but you are not entitled to tell me what mine must be. And look, I use both my personal page on Facebook and Twitter for the show and also for myself. But I mean, if you don't like to see what I post on Facebook or Twitter, then just don't follow my personal pages. Follow the show pages. But, you know, here's a big thing, and this is a meme, but here's to all the people with different opinions, and we're still friends because we're all adults. There's a lot of people not acting like adults over the last few months, few years. Look, we can have our own opinions. You can have yours, I can have mine, and we can still get along. I mean, I have family that doesn't share some of the opinions. It's just be an adult. That's all we just be an adult. We don't have to throw jabs. Be an adult. Early votes on the poll. You can vote at Jay Walker Sports on Twitter or Facebook. But should sporting events eliminate the national anthem? Yes, no, or seriously are your nominations. No, 50%. Seriously, 39%, and yes, 11%. Okay, if you vote yes, or no? I want to know why. Why would you like to see the national anthem eliminated before sporting events? It's been going on for 100 years. And Will Rasmussen brought up a great point. What if an Olympian from the United States of America wins a gold medal next summer at the Summer Olympics? Are you not going to play the anthem? Are you going to be the only country to not play an anthem? And I know Rob Parker from FS1 just talked about the NFL. But I expanded the question to all sports. Should we eliminate the national anthem before sports? Yes, no, or seriously? Vote. Let me know what you think. If you want to stay anonymous, tell me that. Text me. DM me. Slide into my DMs. Direct message for people who don't know. But this segment is brought to you by our good friend Mark LaRoe Photography. Check him out, marklaroephotography.com. And don't forget, if you book any portrait package, you get a free 8x10 canvas or a matted print if you mention you heard it on the show. Also, get 20% off any artwork purchase by mentioning the Jason Walker Show. marklaroephotography.com. All right, let's get to on this day in history. It is brought to you by the Motherlode. It is June the 10th. It is National Egg Roll Day. It is Ballpoint Pen Day, Herbs and Spices Day, Iced Tea Day, and Black Cow Day. Nope. 1752, Benjamin Franklin tested the lightning conductor with his kite flying experience. On this date in 1880, Charlie Jones became the first to hit 2 home runs in 1 inning. 1921, Babe Ruth became the all-time home run champ, passing Gavy Kravitz. Babe Ruth hit, at the time, his 120th home run to surpass Gavy. 1978, the 110th Belmont, Steve Cawthon aboard Affirmed would win the Triple Crown. 1981, Pete Rose tied Stan Musial's NL record of 3,630 hits. 1997, Kevin Brown of the Marlins pitched the no-hitter. 2012, French Open, Maria Sharapova won the first of her 2 French titles, beat Sara Errani of Italy 6-3, 6-2. In 2018 at the French, Rafael Nadal straight set his record 11th French title and 17th Grand Slam victory. I think he added another one. Happy birthdays today. 1895, we talked about this at the top of the show. 1895, Hattie McDaniel was born. Hattie McDaniel was the first African-American actress to win an Oscar. Played Mammy in Gone with the Wind, born in Wichita, Kansas. Gone with the Wind has been taken off streaming services because somebody was offended. What would Hattie McDaniel say? Happy birthday to Judy Garland. Wizard of Oz, 1922 she was born. In 1982, Tara Lipinski, the 97 world champ, was born in Philly. A couple of deaths on this date. 1946, Jack Johnson, the first African-American heavyweight champ from 1908 to 1915, died in a car accident at the age of 68. Spencer Tracy died this date in 1967. Father of the Bride, the original, great movie. 2004, Ray Charles passed away. And Gordie Howe died on this date in 2016. On this date, brought to you by the Motherlode Sports Bar, Casino, and Restaurant.
We're almost at the end of the show. What did we learn? And what did he miss? Time for the walk-off.
Great show today. The last segment brought to you by marklaroephotography.com. Check him out. Great art. The stuff behind me, you can't really see it now because of the Miss Rodeo Montana sash. If I move the microphone, I don't know if we can get this angle. This picture right here, sunset over the Sun River, or sunrise over the Sun River. Augusta's over there. Check it out, marklaroephotography.com. The walk-off brought to you by Cafe Zydeco. Joliet, they replaced the rodeo this weekend. Drive-in rodeo, go to SankeyProRodeo.com. Had a great time talking to Will Rasmussen.
Friday, we'll talk to Harrison Falk. Great friend. And then tomorrow, Chantel McCabe from the Golf Channel. Golf is back. We'll talk to her tomorrow. See you at 4.
The Jason Walker Show is produced by the Jason Walker Media Company. Any reuse, rebroadcast, or retransmission without the express written consent of the Jason Walker Show is strictly prohibited. Just listen, watch, and enjoy.